talk about something I'm going through right now, and I want to know if you've gone through this too. Do you self-sabotage yourself? Do you get yourself in a place where you feel like the movie Carrie, when she's gonna do something so exciting, she's going to the prom, and mom goes, "They're all gonna laugh at you," right? There's that moment where you're like, "Ugh, she might be right. I shouldn't be following through on this. I'm gonna make a fool out of myself." That's that moment when you're about to do something so transformational in your life, and you have your mom or that figure inside of your head telling you they're all going to laugh at you. Who's going to want to listen to you? You're not going to succeed. You're going to fail. And then you start doing things that will sabotage yourself. And what I want to talk about today is acknowledging it, addressing it, and how to overcome it. Talk about why it's happening. So we're going to do that today. Got my notes open here. And this is a big thing for me because I'm embarking on a new journey this week. I'm challenging myself right now. I'm challenging myself to build my community, whether it be on Facebook or on YouTube. On YouTube, I'm building a paid community. What's the first thing that starts to come into my mind as I get closer and closer to really building this and putting it together? Who's going to want to pay for you? What do you know? How are you going to bring value? Do you have value? Are you worth anything? How long have you been doing this? You're not going to be successful at this, right? These are thoughts that come up. You start doubting yourself, and you think, oh, nobody's going to want to see this, right? And then you think, well, and regardless of how much joy, I have a great deal of joy in coming here and going live. And all of a sudden, when I'm about to just take it to the next level, then the questions start to arise. That's a trigger. That's something that I don't know if it's generational. I really don't. Let me know in the comments if you think it's generational. I'm Gen X. I have a lot of boomers around me that I work with, and we all say the same thing. It's all about we have to show perfection. And if we're not perfect at it, then we start doubting ourselves, or if we don't see progress right away, we start doubting ourselves. I really need to take the lessons from the younger generation, the millennials, the babies, the Ys, and really follow them. They're messy. They're doing it messy, and they're showing up, and they're succeeding. And I cannot tell you how liberating that is for them. I don't even think self-sabotage is really a concept for them because they're such free thinkers, and they know how to navigate their way through taking advantage and creating something that is digital, and they don't even think twice about it. They just do it. And that's just something that I'm working very diligently to overcome. Hi, YouTube, Apple, Pugme, welcome to my live. So let's get into it. Let's talk about identifying the triggers and why that's important to identify triggers when you are experiencing self-sabotage. All right. So ask yourself, even when you're doing it, some people may not know they're sabotaging themselves, but ask yourself, when does this happen? Usually happens when you're about to plateau into a new endeavor or try something new and exciting. I did that for when I started digital. When I went digital, when I started creating content 3 years ago. There was falling flat on my face and feeling like it wasn't going to happen, and I'm not going to show up. And I had huge gaps in between my videos before I started becoming consistent. And it was because the self-doubt in my head, the self-sabotage. Usually it happens, like I said, before you make a big move, okay? The little voice in your head starts to creep in and starts asking you or starts telling you, you know, things may not go well. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do if people start laughing at you, or if your friends and family don't accept you? What are you going to do, right? And what if I fail? I think that's the biggest piece of it. What if I fail? Well, there's no such thing. We set expectations of success, and there really should not be any expectations for success. It's not about failing, it's about progressing. It's about growing and learning. And yes, there are going to be setbacks, but those are important. The setbacks only happen unless you take action, and you have to take action in order to feel a setback. You're not going to feel a setback if you do nothing. So you really got to get into the arena and play. And oftentimes the arena is up here. It's in your head, you know? And a great thing about going digital is, you know, you are your own channel. You are your own creation, and it's all 100% you. And all you have to do is show up, you know. And right now I'm showing up messy. And if you guys have any comments, let me know if you like this kind of content, if you find it motivating. Let me know. Also, let me know if you have ever sat on projects or doubted yourself and, you know, have regrets. That's another thing. You know, I got to a place in my life where I no longer wanted to have regrets. I no longer wanted to look back and say, damn, I should have done that years ago. And you feel like you missed out. Isabella, you are not just the only one here, because this video, and I appreciate you being here, by the way. Thank you so much, because if I could help one person, that makes all the difference, okay? Isabella, appreciate you being here. It's okay if you're the only one here. I appreciate your support, and it doesn't make any difference. These are all the things that people really should stop focusing on, is the volume. And that is, you know, like, oh, I had, you know, 100 people show at my live, or maybe you have 3. It doesn't matter. What's important is that you show up, whether you are the presenter or you are the viewer. It's important that you show up. Okay. One way that the reason why I've discovered a lot about self-sabotaging is because somebody said something. Thank you for the likes. Thank you so much. Somebody said something the other day on a live. I was watching some friends of mine go live on TikTok, and I was responding and sending hearts over, just like you guys are with me. And somebody said something that really triggered me. He said, yeah, take Lisa for instance. Lisa's been very consistent. She's been doing this for quite a while, being a content creator, and her progress has been very slow. And then he walked it back a little bit. And he said, not that I'm saying that that's wrong or there's anything wrong with it, but her progress has been slow. And I really took it to heart. I was like, wow, and there's the self-doubt. Wow, is that what people really think of me? Right? My progress is slow. That's interesting. And I felt down, and I felt a little defeated, because I thought that my peers were looking at me as though I'm a slow starter, or that I haven't grown as big as they have. But then I realized I'm still here. There are so many creators who have tried to do or even just talk about it and never really show up, and who have given up over the years. You don't see them anymore, and I'm still here. And that is a big calling card for me. That's huge for me, that I'm still here. I'm still making it happen. And I'm growing, and I'm getting better every single day. And I always take this joy. Imagine where I'm going to be a year from now. How much more progress am I going to make? It's steady, steady, steady progress. And that's the thing. When these triggers start to happen and you're acknowledging that you're self-sabotaging yourself and you're sick of it and you really just want to make a difference and just break out of that, it's really important to take small actionable steps to get yourself out of that. You know, today I took small actionable steps. I made a YouTube thumbnail for my live today, and I scheduled the live today because I was having self-doubts in my abilities, you know, and I was thinking, well, maybe I should pivot once again, like I have done a number of times, and maybe this isn't going to work out. No, no, keep doing it. So I made my thumbnail and I put it up, and then I went on YouTube and I scheduled my live, and then I said, we're going to talk about self-sabotaging on my live today. And once again, I start double guessing myself. I start, guessing myself whether or not I'm going to be able to inspire and make a difference and talk for 30 or more minutes. And then I realized, so what? Just show up, just do it. And in your head, you have this image that you're only going to be going for 5 minutes, or you're only going to be able to get 10 minutes in. And I'm already almost 12 minutes in. And I feel incredible. I feel amazing. And I'm so glad that I showed up. Another thing is to be proud of the progress that you're making. When you have self-doubt, you think of your progress, your slow progress, or any progress that you do, you think of it as this huge, like, elephant, like this huge mountain. And that, oh my God, how long is it going to take for me to finally reach that point where I can say that I'm a success? You don't think of it that way. It's important to think about the journey and how so many opportunities are going to come to you along the way as you continue to show up and take actionable and massive imperfect action. That's what's really important. So many great opportunities come up, And also by taking action, because you're doing, that kills the doubt that's there. If you had doubt, you can't have doubt while you're taking action, because you're doing it and you're creating and you're moving your energy forward. So that helps kill self-sabotage. It's without having, to think or worry about and be embedded in that thought. Get out of that thought. It's a great way to snap yourself out of that thought. Okay. Another thing is the imagination. Imagine, instead of imagining that it's not going to work out, or double or questioning yourself whether or not you're going to pivot and do something different, imagine what your life would be like if it does work out. Wouldn't that be great? If you put the power in visualizing what could be in a way that will break through and give you everything you've always wanted, think about how amazing that would be. Simply because you decide to take action. Simply because you decide to show up. And simply because you know you're self-doubting yourself, but that's a trigger that you are going to set aside and not worry about. I got to this midlife phase in my life where I'm like, if I don't do something now, it's not going to happen. So do it. Make it happen. And here I am. Another thing is, you might want to write down what your goals are. Every single day, I write down my progress so I can see it. I set aside a calendar, and every day I show up live, I X it off. And I post my wins to my friends when I see the watch time hours, when I see my work on the screen, when I share my work with friends. And that's my journaling. That's the way I track my success. And I see how many people came in, or what was the interaction. And it never goes down. It's not like you have a flop. It's always either going to continue to be steady, or you're going to see a rise. And it's not like you go backwards. That's the great thing about being a content creator. You don't go backwards. Over time, you grow. It's inevitable. You will grow. Okay. I'm even thinking about doing some interviews. I did that tonight. I have a list of people I want to interview and bring to the forefront and ask them, where were you? Where are you now? If you dropped out, why you're no longer creating content, and what will it take to get you back in, and what your triggers were, right? And where you are today, things like that. I just want to interview people. Another thing is, write down what could possibly happen. Don't write down what would happen if you quit, but know very well that quitting is not an option. Quitting, when you have self-doubt in the endeavors that you're doing, or maybe you're embarking on a new project, or you're going to be doing something exciting that is revolutionizing to your life, obviously the self-doubt comes in. What you want to do is you want to consider what would happen if you quit, right? Because if I quit today, I would have regrets. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. I would have regrets. I would feel like I wasted my time. I'm wasting all that energy that I put in was for naught. And you cannot, when you quit, it's over. You're not going to find success by quitting. The only way that you will eventually find success is by continuing to move on and keep going. Okay. Sometimes, why does self-doubt happen? Because of fear. Let's face it. Sometimes you sabotage yourself because you fear success. Okay. You fear not failing. Because some people's lives will change. And if you're super successful, you're going to have to make a commitment. And some people fear the commitment. I've heard people go, oh, it's just too much work. I don't have the time, and then months go by and years go by, and they're still the same cynical and complaining about their life. And, and they continue to say things like, well, I wish I did it, but yeah, it's too late now, and I should not have pursued what I was hoping to gain. And there's regret, and that is actually a fear of failure. I am better than you. Hi, Darth Vader of the red pill. Thank you for joining. I am better than you. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Darth. I appreciate you. You're so positive. Thank you. I love the fact that you believe in yourself. You're a lot of fun, Darth. Another thing is, tell yourself that you deserve everything that you're building. Okay? Take Darth. Darth believes in himself. Darth believes he deserves everything that he puts out there. And there's a level of confidence that you need to have in order to overcome the power of self-doubt. So you really, really need to believe in yourself, and believe also that you're worthy. For a very long time, I never really felt I was worthy enough to ask. I used to be in sales, and I never thought I was worthy enough to ask for the sale. And man, if I had, I sun down myself, I doubt others. You don't doubt yourself, you doubt others. Yeah, and you know what? The great thing is that that's also self-sabotage, is when you start to doubt others, because you're empowering them to have an impact on something that you're working toward, you know, thinking that they're going to hold you back or that you don't have trust. It's not them, it's you. You have to have trust in yourself. And it's important to have trust in the skill sets also that you bring, but also have trust in the people that you intend on having an impact with, okay? And let them take this journey as however they are ready to take this journey on for themselves, but just be there for them, you know? I have a friend. You're right. Doubting them isn't good enough. I have to stop them because they can only be one winner. It's not about winning or losing. It's not about winning or losing in this. It's about the incredible progress that you make in personal growth. Okay? And it's about not having regrets in yourself later on over time. Let's keep going. If you ever want to create a vision for yourself, write down what the plan of success is for for whatever it is that you're embarking on, and make them big. Okay, go beyond. Example: if you say to yourself that, let's say you want to make 6 figures by the end of the year, right? Do yourself a favor and add a 0 to it, because you're building your worth. You're not just setting the bar for that 6-figure end of year. You are setting the bar for 5 years from now. Okay? Things like that. If you want to have a big, beautiful house and you say to yourself, you know what? I want to have, let's say, a 1,200 square foot house, add a 0 to that. Make it a 12,000 square foot house, okay? Make that vision, that image really, really amazing. Or the plot of land that you want to buy, okay? Add a 0 to it. Just make it so incredibly, make it just something that you know you can achieve. Because when you put it out there and you're working toward your small wins, that actually becomes a part of your win, that extra 0. That's amazing. You know, and let's keep going, you know. Like I said earlier, action kills doubt. Like right now, I really feel confident. I feel blessed. I feel blessed to even have Darth here. And yeah, add an extra 0. You know, Darth, if you're looking for a plot of land and they say that it's 10,000 square feet, add an extra 0 to that, okay? Let's keep going. I love your humor, actually. So that's like basically journaling your progress, like I said that I do. Let's talk about self-sabotage. Often comes from overwhelm. This is true. You get overwhelmed. When you start to get overwhelmed or you feel like you have too much going on, that's when you start self-doubting yourself, because your mind is taking on too much action. Oftentimes it's important to focus on one thing. I like to focus, and you know, I've talked about this before. I finished the book, The One Thing. And in The One Thing is a very interesting read, because it helps you focus your energy on the one thing by asking a question. What is the one thing that I could do, right? That will help others, that will create purpose in my life, and, help me succeed and help others succeed with the one thing. And that's why I'm coming here live. That's why I'm sharing my journey with you live. I used to do, um, you know, video, and sit here with you on a script. And I said, no, let's start going live. What's the one thing Lisa can do? Lisa can bring her authentic self to have friends like Darth here or Wasi Abs here, okay? Not clear on your vice. We're talking about today um, how to overcome self-sabotage, all right? Because when you are embarking on a new journey in your life, oftentimes it depends also on how old you are too. Because if you're like a Gen X or a boomer, we had those parents who said everything had to be perfect. And that's how you self-sabotage, because you think everything has to be perfect before you can do the presentation. And what I love about millennials and the younger generation is that you guys are amazing. You just show up and you make it sloppy, but you just keep going. You're not afraid to take risks, especially when you're younger. You have so much beautiful time on your hands. You're not afraid to take risks. And so what I'm saying is that, by taking action, it kind of kills that concept of self-sabotage because you're moving forward. Okay. Also, you want to know that every single time you show up or every single time you take action, it's a learning experience. You may not necessarily succeed and you may fail at an attempt, but it's a learning experience, and that is growth. Another thing is when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, I'm losing track of my thought here. Feeling uncomfortable is a healthy thing, because that means you're stepping out of that comfort zone, and you want that because that means growth is happening to you. All right. I've been uncomfortable doing a lot of things. I was uncomfortable doing 15-second video on short form content, and I did it. I was uncomfortable. And then I went to a minute. And then I started speaking into the camera. I was uncomfortable. And then I started moving around and sharing some content live on TikTok. I was extremely uncomfortable. I was scared of sounding stupid, scared of acting like a fool, scared of embarrassing myself. And guess what? I let that fear overcome me, and I wasted 3 years not going live. And now I have no other options. I have to do it. I wanted to do it then, and I have to do it now. And it is liberating. And I'm very happy that I did, because I could spend time with you. I can spend time with Darth, and I could spend time with Wasi Abbas. Okay? This is fun. I'm enjoying every minute here. You also want to create a what if I don't quit list. That will help you overcome your self-sabotage. I'm sure you are a naturally good talker, and I envy you for that. Really big time. Thank you, Darth. You want to create a what if I don't quit list. Hey, Cindy, welcome back to my live. Your I don't quit list is basically where you write down what happens if you continue to push through. You want to write down what it is that you want to achieve with your what'll happen to me if I don't quit list. Okay? You want to talk about, maybe you want more freedom. Maybe you want more impact. Maybe you want more confidence. Okay? If you don't quit, imagine how much confidence you'll build by going live on YouTube or anywhere. I'm going to post this on my Facebook page. And I'm going to post this also on my TikTok page when I'm done, after it gets downloaded. And this is going to live on my other pages. Okay? And seeing it, write it down so you could see it. All right? And it has more impactful meaning to you. Okay? Also, get outside perspective. I like to think that me showing up and sharing with you is an outside perspective, but consult with people that you are confiding with, a friend, a family member, um, somebody who is sharing this journey with you. I have a accountability partner that I talk to every single week, and I share. Thank you very much. Um, let's see. My mind shines even when my thoughts seem dark. Well, that's because you have great deal of confidence in yourself, Darth. Thank you very much for the compliment on my teeth. Um, let's keep going, okay? So what I said was writing down, makes it more powerful. Talk out with an accountability partner. That's really important. Somebody who understands your journey, and understands and hears you when you are, having that setback. They can help you through it. Even just voicing your thoughts out loud takes away their power. That is very true. Sitting here with you right now and voicing out all of my experiences with self-sabotage, something I'm going through right now, takes away that inner voice, the power of that inner voice, simply second guessing myself, okay? And I think one of the reasons why this all happened was because this week I got my Facebook page back. It was down for over a year. And I went through the process and I got the Facebook page back. And I was like, damn it, I am going to build that channel, because Facebook has reels. So I'm going to load that. I'm going to load this over there and let this run so a bigger audience can get to know me. And last but not least, everybody, you need to give yourself permission to succeed. Okay? And you too, Darth, give yourself permission to succeed. Sometimes, truthfully speaking, self-sabotage is fear of success. It's not failing, you know what I mean? Like, you always set yourself up to fail, but you ask yourself, what if I don't fail? What if I actually succeed? For some people, that can be scary. Some people can feel like, I don't know what to expect if I succeed. It could change my life forever. And I'm afraid of changing. I'm afraid. And they're never ever fear the unknown, because I've been through some really dark times. And what doesn't hurt you makes you stronger. Okay? So don't be afraid to fail, but also don't be afraid to succeed. And also know this, you deserve everything that you are building. That's what I love about being here as a creator. Like I said, you only build up. It's really difficult to go backwards unless you do something really stupid. But it's really good to build up. And here, there's so much opportunity for success being a creator. And there's so much opportunity for success taking on new endeavors, taking the challenge of learning AI, taking the challenge of learning how to engage and going digital in life. And I hope that this video helped you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I will be reviewing my comments, and I will be coming up with more content and going live. And always, my friends, I appreciate you being here. And until then, I look forward to the next video. Take care, everybody.